Okay, everyone. So let me just give you guys a quick recap of what we have done in our previous week, and then we will move forward. Okay. So, guys, in our previous week, we have just completed our part number 2 and part number 3. So, in part number 2, we learned about Matplotlib. What is Matplotlib? Why we use Matplotlib? Why don't we use Matplotlib? Where we can use it? Advantages and all. Then how to install it, how to check the version. Then we jumped into the line plot. I told you guys about multiple examples of line plots, how to create them, how to create multiple line plots in a single diagram. I also showed you guys one trend line example, one real world example. After that, next day, we jumped onto the part number 3, in which we learned about bar plots. What is it, how to create it, histogram, and pie chart with multiple examples. Now, before moving forward to part number 4, I would like to know if there is any kind of doubts in part number 2 and part number 3. So guys, now in part number 4, we are going to learn about Matplotlib, Vox, and Whisker plot. No issues, Ramya. So in part number 4, now we have to learn about box and whisker plot. Okay, that would be great, Ramya. Scatter plot and also the subplots. So box and whisker plots. So what is Matplotlib, box and whisker plot? So now just give me 1 minute. Let me just draw something over here for you guys first. Do you guys know what kind of plot is this? Do you guys have ever worked on this kind of plot in mathematics and statistics? Ever created this plot before, guys? This graph before? I will just create a PDF out of it afterwards and then we'll send you guys. Okay, box plot and whisker plot. First of all, how they look like. Now, what is this basically? What is this basically? So box plot is basically a plot in which we are going to use the quartiles. Do anyone over here have any idea what is quartiles? Listen to me carefully. Imagine, guys, you have a bunch of marks, or you can say salaries, heights, sales, etc. Now, instead of showing every single number, a box plot, now it will just show you how the numbers are spread out. So what does it shows? How the numbers are spread out. How the numbers are spread out. Now, in this box plot, now there are multiple things you guys can see. First of all, part of the box plot. Let me just write down everything for you guys over here. Parts of box plot. First thing is minimum. First thing is minimum, which is what? From the name itself, you guys can just say that it is the smallest value. That it is the smallest value. That is except extreme outliers. Then Q1. Q1, that means quartile number 1, and this Q1 means 25% of the data. That means 25% of the data. After that, guys, here comes median. Median means 50% of the data, the half. After that, Q3, that is 75% of the data. After that, we have maximum, the largest value except the extreme outliers. And at last, I am saying outliers again and again. So this last thing is the outliers only in the chart. Values that are too far from the rest. These are the 6 parts. Now in visual display, if you guys will see. In the visual display. First of all, if I'm seeing this is the first thing I will notice, right? This box. Now, the line inside this box, this thing, this is the median line. This is the median line. Now, this whole box is the 50% of the data. Is the 50% of the data. This whole box. And inside this box with the line is the median line. Now, guys, this thing, this thing, and this thing. These two things are known as whiskers. These two things are known as whiskers. That is why it is also known as the whisker plot. Now viscous means lower and the upper normal values. Lower and upper normal values. That is below 50% and upper 50%. That is 25% of the data. Q1 and Q3. 25% of data and 75% of the data. And this is the whole plot. But what if there is any dot outside this plot now? If there is anything outside this plot, after the plot creation is done, but what if there is any point which is coming outside this diagram? Then, like this dots I have created over there, then those will be outliers. Then those points are known as outliers. You can say the unusual values, which you can also say as unusual, as well as the extreme values, This is the whole diagram of box plot, and this is what box plot is. Now you guys tell me, are you guys clear? Q1, this will be Q2. At 50th, it will be, this is Q3. It is not like 75% at all. It is like 25% of the whole data, 50% of the whole data, and 75% of the whole data. Okay, great. Now let's do this from here. Now, matplotlib, box and whisker plot. Box and whisker plot, or box plot only, is used to display the distribution of what? Numerical data. It shows median, the middle value of the data. Quarters divides the data into 4 parts. Outliers, points that are far from the rest of the data. Extreme values. Whiskers shows the range of the data excluding the outliers, because outliers do not come under lower and the upper values. Now, when to use a box plot? When you are going to compare the distributions. When you want to compare the distribution, you can use that. Give me a second here. Compare the multiple data sets. For example, test scores of the students in the different classes. Spot the outliers when you want to identify the unusual data points that differ significantly from the rest of the data. Summarize data. Get a quick overview of the data spread, center, and the variability. This is when we use the box plot. When not to use, when you are having a very small data set. If your data has very few points, a box plot may not be meaningful. When you're having the exact values, box plots shows the summaries, not the exact data points. You can use a scatter plots if the precision is needed. And the categorical data. Box plots are for the numerical data, not for the categories like red, blue, etc. That is only for the numerical data. Now, guys, let's create a simple box plot. We are having the data in temperatures. Let's just create it. Now what you have to do, you just have to put plt.boxplot. Inside that, just put the temperature. Just put plt.show. It will create it automatically. Okay, everyone got it? Everyone inside that only. First of all, what I will do, I will just add one thing which is named as patch artist. Typing will be a little slow today. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Box props is equals to DICT, which means dictionary function. Let me just complete this. I will let you guys each and everything afterwards. Face color, so I hope you guys remember. We have used that in our previous week as well. Let's take it as light blue. In that only, I will take color is equals to green inside the dictionary only. After that, we will take the whisker props, that how you want them to get appear. There again, dictionary and color and the just line style you have to take. Then cap props. There again, you have to put it as dictionary. Yes, median props and all is done. No issues, Vivek. Let me just add title and all also very quickly. Font size 16 I'm taking, and font weight is equals to bold. Just see how it looks like. Now, what everything is doing. First of all, box props. Dictionary face color light blue. Box color is coming as light blue. Then color is equals to green. Where this green color is coming? Face color is coming as what? Blue, and this outline is coming as green. So that is for the box props. Okay. After that, whisker props. These lines are whiskers, these color are blue, and the line style is this. Then cap props. These lines who are the caps of these whiskers, for them the color is red. And then median props. This is the median line, for that the color is yellow. And now here comes the last thing, which is what? The patch artist. Now, why are we using the patch artist, guys? Because it will help you to fix the box. This color which are getting filled, that is all because of the patch artist. Let me just make this a little clear for you guys, and then you guys can go through this, okay? Please go through this explanation of customizations and let me know if you guys are clear with this or not.
Ma'am, why are we passing the dictionary function
Yes.
here? Why are we passing the dictionary function here?
This is the syntax how we take the box plot, no? This is the syntax how we take the box plot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you are giving only the patch artist equal to true, that means you are not specifying anything, what will happen, ma'am?
Yeah. If give me a second now. Or let me just do one thing more. It will create because there is temperature, right? Patch artist is equals to true, but it will not customize.
Okay, fine. It will show you the general form. That means you don't know what exactly what.
Yeah. Okay, guys, then let's start. With the scatter plot. So scatter plot, so I guess everyone knows what is scatter plot. Very easy plot. We have learned about this in our mathematics also. The plot which looks like that, in which the points are scattered in the form of dots, right? So guys, what is this? What is scatter plot? It is a type of graph that displays the individual data points plotted on a two-dimensional graph. Each point represents the values of two variables. X-axis, that is one numerical variable, and y-axis, that is another numerical variable. Now, by plotting these points, you can see how the variables might be related. When to use? You use it when you want to show the relationships between the variables. Use a scatter plot to determine if there is a correlation between the two variables. For example, examining if the higher temperatures led to increased ice cream sales. Second, to identify the patterns or trends. Spot the clusters, gaps, or the outliers in the data. For example, analyzing how study hours affect exam scores among the students. Then, for the large data sets, For the large data sets, it is useful when you have many data points and you want to visualize the distribution. And when not to use a scatter plot, when this is categorical data, because categorical data you will not be able to plot, right? If the data is not numerical or does not come in pairs, a scatter plot is not suitable. Alternative, you can use the bar charts. Single variable analysis. Single variable, how will you plot? If you're having only x-axis, how will you plot? Only in that particular area it will get plotted, right? How will you do the analysis? Overlapping data points. If you're having two kind of data points again and again, so it will get overlapped. So instead of that, use a histogram, because if same thing is coming, that will come inside one range now. So histogram will be better or box plot will be better if there are multiple overlapping situations. Is it clear, everyone? Theory is clear? Guys, we are having the scenario for the ice cream sales versus the temperature. Imagine you own an ice cream shop and you are curious about how temperatures affect the number of ice cream cones you sell daily. Now to figure this out, you decide to record the temperature and the number of ice cream sold for a week. We are having temperature and we are having ice cream sales. So let's just create that. 25, 28, 30, 32, 30, 200, 250, 300, 320. I want to create a scatter plot. For that, we will take plt.scatter. Temp, comma sales, and done. This is how my scatter plot will look like. This is how my scatter plot will look like. Okay. Now let's add some customizations to that. Here is my plot. Temperature is there, sales is there. Temperature is there, sales is there. Now, first of all, I want to add one more thing. I am having a temperature. Let me make it as sales 1. Let me just put two kind of plots inside one plot. Two plots in one plot. Let me take sales 2 as well. 7 points now. 180, 230, 280, 300, 350, 330, 370. Now I am having sales 1 and sales 2. Okay, two kinds of sales I am having. Let's take one more thing, sales 3 as well. Okay, now I'm having 3 things along with the temperature. Now what I will do, I will do some customization part. I will just put the figure size. Figure size 10.5. plt.scatter, sales. I want the size also to be the same. Size is equal to sales 1. The size will also vary, right? Color red. Just like that. Just add the label as well. Label and what we call it as alpha, transparency. Let's take alpha as well. 0.4, 5, and 6 I will take. Okay. One more thing, I want to take it as edge colors. Black. Yellow. Okay. Okay, everything is done now. Temperature is done. X label, while title is not there. No? Title we will add.
We have to put a legend.
What happened?
No, we have to put a legend or not? Because we put a label there.
Legend, right? I have to put. Legend, I have to put. What did I do? Oh, sorry. S. For size, there will be only one. Yeah, instead of size, I will be putting S. Size it will not take, S it will take. Is it clear, guys? subplotting. Now subplots, as I have told you guys just now, subplotting is multiple plots together in a single plot. A subplot is a way to display multiple plots in single figure. It divides a figure into a grid and places a plot in each section, allowing you to compare different data sets or visualizations side by side or in a structured layout Now, when to use it? When you want to compare the multiple data sets, one data set in one, second in second, third in third, like that, multiple data sets can get compared together. Use subplot to compare trends, patterns, or distributions across the multiple data sets. For example, comparing sales of different products over the time. Then show the different visualization. Use subplots to display related visualization like bar chart, line chart, and scatter plot for the same data set. Efficient space usage. Subplots makes it easier to view the multiple plots in a compact format, avoiding the need for the separate figures. And when not to use, when there are too many subplots, then it will be very, very hard to interpret. Unrelated data. If the plots are not related, it's better to create a separate figures for the clarity. And focus on one plot. If you want to specify only one plot, then why are you making the subplots? Why are you creating multiple plots together, right? So that is where you do not have to use a subplot. Now, same scenario as above. I'm taking sales and multiple things together. Okay. So let me just not take this only. Temperature 1, 2, 3. Same thing, this only I'm taking. And instead of that, yeah, let's just do that example only. You guys can just avoid this and just see this. Okay. For that, what I will do, plt dot figure. That will be your figure size. 10, 5. Now, I am having three things. I am having sales 1, sales 2, and sales 3. So, three things I'm having. So, three subplots also will, three plots also I'm going to create. So, first of all, for the plot number 1, that will be plt.subplot131. That is first plot out of 3. First plot out of 3. Okay. For that, I'm taking temperature, sales 1. Same thing I'm putting. Same thing if you guys can see. Scatter plot only I have created. For that, take title, X label, and Y label now. Okay. Y label done. After that, second plot. That will be plt.subplot132, but this I'm not going to create a scatter. I am going to make it as the line plot. Yes, you guys can create multiple different plots inside the subplot. That will be 132 now. In that, sales 2. Alpha तो ठीक है यार. Label, color, marker only I have to put. Which colors not needed. One, 3, 3. And now instead of that, let's make a bar. That will be day 3. Sales 3. Just check this out. This is how the plot looks like. This is known as subplotting, guys. This is known as subplotting. And now if I want to do one thing more, right now if you guys will see now, it is becoming a little overlap, like the sales is coming over here inside the inside. So for that, to avoid that, just want to put tight layout function. It will give a tight layout to each graph and it will avoid the overlapping. Clear guys? Clear guys? Clear everyone? Okay. So in subplot, this 131, this 132, and this 133, right? That is what you're asking, na, Samya? So what is this now? These are, let me just write down over here in form of commenting. Rows and columns, index. Row number, how many columns you want, and what is going to the index. That is why first position, second position 132, and third position 133. One row, 3 columns, and the index at the end.